Okay. Next, we'll be heading up to Thief River Falls, Minnesota, and Dick Sjoberg. Dick began his cable odyssey in 1962 when his parents constructed a cable system in rural Thief River Falls in order to sell more color TVs. I love that story, Dick. That first year, Dick was in charge of marketing, but because he was too young to have a driver's license, he went door to door on his red bike. In 1982, Dick purchased the systems from his parents and has since been president and CEO of Sjoberg, Inc. They presently operate systems in 13 small communities ranging in size from 21 subscribers to 3,500. They offer their customers 225 channels of cable as well as DOCSIS 3.0 based high-speed internet access, digital telephone, and HD TV. Dick is a graduate of Macalester College and Florida Atlantic University, where he received his master's degree in business administration. He currently serves on the board of Minnesota Cable Communications Association, having been its president from 1989 to 1992. Additionally, he has been president of the North Central Cable Association, and in 1998 was elected the board of directors of the National Cable Television Association, where he continues to represent the interests of smaller cable operators. And with that, I'll go ahead and hand the floor over to you, Dick, and put up your picture there. There you go.
Thank you, Becky. Good morning, everybody. Today I want to talk to you about strategies for Internet adoption amongst low-income families from a provider's point of view. Sjoberg provides cable television, Internet, and telephone in northwestern Minnesota. We're presently participating in 2 adoption programs. The first one I'll speak about is Blandon's MERC, or Minnesota Intelligent Rural Communities Program, which we were a local partner providing Internet in Thief River Falls and the surrounding areas. We used systems in Red Lake Falls and Warren in addition to Thief River Falls, and participated providing Internet to low-income families. And the object of this is to get connected computers into the hands of low-income families with school-aged children. We wanted to get some criteria for what we would determine to be a successful program, and also to establish some ground rules so that everybody understood at the beginning what we were doing and who our audience was and how we were going to do that, and try to avoid as many problems down the road from misunderstandings. And so the first thing we had to do is define who we wanted to serve. So we agreed that families with school-aged children from grades 6 to 12 who were eligible for free lunch programs were probably the best candidates and also were the easiest to identify. We partnered with the Intercounty Community Council in Oakley, Minnesota, which is just down the road from us. That group handles all of the low-income identification criteria for things like WIC, fuel assistance, rent assistance, and school lunch programs. And so they had a ready database that they could help us with. And because of some concerns about who, we were never given a complete what's the word I'm looking for here? A complete listing of all the people. What Intercounty did was act as an intermediary and would market to these people for us. And so they have been offline for 6 months. And if to our knowledge they were online with, say, Quest, then they would not be eligible either for 6 months, because we didn't want this to become some kind of a gaming of the system type thing, and that we wanted the people who were truly interested and who really needed help to get help, and not just some kind of a mechanism for people who decided that, we'll jump over to these guys for and we'll get it cheaper for 2 years and we'll game the system. So we were looking at that type of stuff, but it takes a lot of forethought because it's difficult if you start a program with one set of rules and then you realize you made a mistake and then you start changing rules, and then people say, because everybody in small towns, everybody talks. So they say, well, I got that for such and such, and now you're not getting it. So they're discriminating against you, and then you get, then you get more bad will. So it's better to have everything set coming out of the box. And the one thing I would advise to anybody who's thinking about setting one of these things up is talk to, call me or talk to other people that have done programs like this, and just get, we've done a lot of groundwork, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. For equipment, for the computer equipment in the home, the Blandin Foundation's BTOP program provided funding for free equipment and user training. And I thought that was really a good course for the consumer because, first of all, they got a computer into their home with a very minimal amount of expense. And second of all, they got training to learn how to use the computer, which I think was really important. And I think down the road that's going to show as one of the critical factors that in any type of adoption program. We are also participating in a second program. It's called Connect to Compete, or C2C. It's a partnership with the cable industry and the FCC. In that partnership, the consumer is given a voucher to buy a low-cost computer, and then once they get the computer, they can sign up for internet at $9.95 or less. And the training is available online, which I have a couple of reservations on, because I think, how do you teach them to get online to do the training that they're going to have online? So hopefully there will be some changes in this program where they'll figure out that some of this has to be done, because that was the experience we had. The consumers that got the online training have stayed with the program and have been successful. So that seems to be a good indicator. The question that you might ask is, why should providers care about providing service at a loss? Well, I went to a liberal arts college, but I also went to a business college. So there's two sides of me that are arguing on this thing, and I argue with myself sometimes. But first of all, it's the right thing to do. I mean, we can talk all day about reasons for poverty and mechanisms for lifting people out of it, but becoming computer literate is definitely going to help an individual get a job, hold a job, get a better job, become more upwardly mobile, and get out of poverty. The business side of me said, this is a good marketing tool. Every day we're bombarded with offers. Get free this or free that, or 1 year free if you take this, or sign up, that sort of thing. So we said, why don't we just view this as a marketing exercise? And here's the interesting thing. When we did a survey of the participants, we got 13 responses. 11 of the 13 people that responded back said they were going to continue with the program and continue with us as a provider. That, to me, makes it a really good marketing success. I mean, how often do you get an 80% return on your marketing investment like that? So I'm just tickled by that. So what we are doing is we're telling management groups that this is just a discount offer program is all it is, and you don't have to view it as get into that murky water of, are we trying to do social good and why should the company fund social good? This is just a marketing exercise, at the end of the day, and we're offering a discount offer. A program, in our view, has been successful enough that we are now launching it in our service areas up in Roseau, Warroad, and Baudette on our own, and going to follow that. So stay tuned for further results. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Good morning, Bill. This is Bernadine. Good morning, Dick. This
Hi.
is Bernadine and Bill. I was going to refer to Bill. We're sitting here just applauding your vision and dedication, and it's so inspiring, really, to hear you tell your story. My question to you this morning is, what advice would you have to other providers based on your experience?
First, I would say really get your ducks in a row on what you're going to provide, how much you're going to charge, who you're going to provide it to, and get your credit policy. I think the biggest thing, more than anything else, is get your credit policy set up and lined up so you know what you're going to do. So your front office people who will interface will have a complete understanding of what you're trying to do. And then from there, the rest of it kind of falls in place. The $9.95 or seems to be kind of the national price that people are charging for the service, and the rest of it, like I say, falls in place. You can either give them free modems, you can lease them to them, or sell them to them, or whatever. The biggest issue we're dealing with right now up in Roosevelt and Baudette, because it's not part of the MERT program, is getting the computers into the people's hands. And I'm going to talk to Casey a little bit offline on this, if we can get some kind of a voucher system or something. And there's another company called Redemptech, which provides a computer for $150, and that's shipped to your home. It's a computer, monitor, keyboard, mouse, and I think it's a printer or a small printer or something like that. But it's kind of like the complete kit. But I'd rather stay local with it. I think Casey made a pretty good case for what he's doing there, and kind of won me over on this. So we'll probably see if we can figure out something. But that's the biggest thing is getting your policies straight so everybody understands what you're doing. There's no gray area or looks like it's waffling or something like that. And the second thing is just get the equipment into the people's hands. I also think that as a third thing, and I alluded to this before, the training is important, because if anything, they say men don't read instructions on stuff, but in this day and age, I'm even finding that I get the instruction book out when I get a new computer or a new device. I'm working in conjunction with this thing. I've got an iPad, and I have a problem with my iPad as I'm doing this thing, so I was kind of doing a workaround on the iPad and thinking, God, I got to get my iPad instruction book out and find out why it's doing this. So you can't get too much knowledge on this kind of stuff, and the frustration, I think, when, especially if you're new to it, if you're a struggling young family and stuff, if the thing doesn't work for you kind of out of the box and doesn't make sense because you haven't got the training, you're going to throw it aside. You've got other things to do. You got to just stay alive type thing. You don't have time to play with computers. No.
Hey, Dick, this is Mark Erickson. It's a great program, and I had a little problem with your connection in the beginning, so if you answer this, I apologize. How do you identify the folks that you want to reach out to? Do you do it in a general marketing campaign, or do you just know the folks that are having some issues with their bills, or how do you kind of spread the word?
Well, we partnered with the Intercounty Community Council, and that's a state organization that handles, on a regional basis, the fuel assistance and the school lunch program eligibilities and things like that. And they work with this whole subset of people that we're trying to reach. So we partnered with them, told them what they were doing. They were very excited about it because they recognized that this is going to really help their clients, and that's what they're about. So they were very willing to to identify groups of people, and they know a lot of the people. So the first go around, they specifically called people and said, hey, there's a program that is really suited for you because you've mentioned that you'd like to get online, but you don't have a computer and you don't have the training. And if it ever became available, let us know, that type of thing. So again, we're working in a small market, and a lot of people know a lot of people. So that's the helpful thing. I could see in the metro areas that probably wouldn't be the case, or Duluth or Rochester or something, because it's too large and impersonal. But up here, it works out very nicely. And then they've sent mailers out to all of the families that have students that are eligible for free lunch programs. So we've been working that way, and we've also had some help from the Regional Development Commission. They've done some marketing through their facilities. So there's a lot of people out there that are really willing to help. This is one of these things where it's such a good idea. Everybody wants to be part of it, and we never ran into anybody who said, "Oh, that's nice," but everybody, when they heard about it, they stepped right up and they said, "Gee, we'll do this for you. We'll do that for you." So all you have to do is ask.